Welcome to Decades of Horror, the classic era.
The tragedy of the Mysterians is a good example for us. Don't use science in the wrong way!
This is episode 222, reviewing The Mysterians from 1957, recorded January 18th, 2026. Yeah.
Gruesome Magazine.
I am your host, Zach Rod, and on this podcast, we cover the good, the bad, and maybe even the ugly horror films released between the beginning of time and 1969. In each episode, we'll discuss monsters, spirits, psychos, and villains that have haunted movie-going audiences. There we go. Since the dawn of film history. I'll call that a win.
Sorry.
It's not, but I'm going to call it one. All right. Doing this week are my incredible co-hosts, starting off with Daphne, who is awesome, stupendous, and likable as hell. How you doing?
Hi, guys. I'm doing really good. It's a good day today, and I'm really looking forward to talking with you about this movie.
Yep,
and,
it's contagious. It's contagious.
Yeah.
Right? Yep, sorry.
Let's just start it off right away.
Also joining us tonight is Bill Mulligan, writer, director, special effects guru, all-around nice guy, and published author.
Oh, and I've got something to share. Yeah, we all know about Rom. And I have the vampire book, but I don't have it with me. But look what just arrived this week, right? One after another. Pinup noir, high-class muscle.
Hold it tight. We're going to go in for a close-up.
Ooh, nice.
Great cover. Great cover. Yes,
nice.
that is me on the cover.
Of course it is.
And
of course it is.
And this just arrived yesterday.
Oh no!
If I die before I wake, Tales of Cryptid Terror, and I have a story in there about Wampus Cat.
Awesome!
Wampus
I got it. Yeah,
Cat.
I've been telling my friend about that, who loves that stuff. So
woohoo! Yeah. So when you think about it, so I've been crunching the numbers. Last year, at my table, I only had 2 books to sell, but this year I'm going to have 4. So I am doubling every year, and what that means is at this trajectory, again, crunching the data, in 10 years, I will have 1,000 books. Different books, 1,000 different books, and I'm going to need a huge table.
You are. It's going to be like
you can't stop math, my friends. It is inevitable.
You are mathing away.
Yeah.
Math is a science, right?
Whew,
all right. Also joining us tonight with not as many books but in books in different ways is Chad Hunt, co-host of Decades of Horror, the 70s and the 80s, is a film producer, director with Wreak Havoc Productions, and a comic artist and writer. So he does have books.
Mm-hmm. I got books over here.
You got books. Okay.
I'm also here to intermarry with Earth's women.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just all of them. Decades of Horror and Gruesome Magazine are partnering with Play Now Media on several of their channels. The Classic Era is on the Classic Sci-Fi Movie channel, the Classic Horror Movie channel, and the Wicked Horror TV channel. They're all free channels, and you can go there and get them for free, but you will have to do commercials, or some of them, if you subscribe, which is fairly inexpensive, you can get it commercial free and the premium content. So check it out, and you'll see us there smiling and waving at you. All right.
Chad may not be smiling, but
well, Chad never smiles.
Ew, no.
All right. Well, tonight we are doing The Mysterians from 1957. This is Bill Mulligan's pick. It's a Toho classic.
Certainly is not. No,
it's not Toho.
No, I didn't pick this one. I mean, I'll take the credit, but
who picked this?
Chad
picked this.
Yeah.
When I saw that it was a Toho, I was certain you picked this.
When you saw it was good, you said, "Well, it can't be Chad."
That might be true. Well, Chad, I am so sorry for showing you.
I forgot my body armor for this episode. I'm just taking a beating over here.
You are indeed. We're going to start off talking about when we first saw this, what was our first impression, and all that jazz. Then we're going to get into how the film was marketed, and then we'll get into all the cast and crew and have a good time discussing itsy bitsy teeny weeny bits of this film. And then we're going to wrap things up with some feedback. We love feedback. And while we're at it, we also want to, kind of nudge you to like and subscribe and share it with a friend, because every click will help us find another fan just like you, just like you.
Yay.
All right. This nonsense. Let's get it away and let's just start. All right. The Mysterians, 1957. And what is the name of that critter?
Penguin.
Moguera. Penguin. Yeah.
Moguera?
Moguera.
Moguera. I always called it Moguera.
Okay, Moguera. All right. Director is Ishiro Honda. The writer is Takashi Kimura, and the story is by Jojiro Okami, and Shigeru Kayama. I feel like I said that name twice. Maybe I did. The cast includes Kenji Sahara, Yumi Shirakawa, Momoko Kochi, Akihiko Hirata, Takashi Shimura, Susumu Fujita, and Hisaya Ito. Did I do okay?
See, the cool thing is we have no idea whether Doc got those names right or not. So great job, Doc.
There's a lot of people out there that are like, okay, yeah, got
typing
that one.
away
Missed that one. Got that one. Miss, got that one. All right. The production company is Toho. Filming locations are Toho Studios in Setagaya, Tokyo. Is it Tokyo or Tokyo? Did I put an extra A in there? I bet I put an extra A in there. Know. It's got to be just Tokyo, right? Tokyo. That's it. Go moving on.
It was in Japan.
It was Japan. Release date May 15th, 1959 for the US. Of course, it was released December 28th, 1957 in Japan. We don't know the budget, but the box office, we have two different totals depending on which one you look at. There's a thing called Brokopedia, which suggests that it has 1.39 million, while IMDb says it was 975K, which I think 975K is probably just US. I would imagine. I wouldn't know. Yeah. It's also known as Earth Defense Force. That was worldwide. People took that up. And in Germany, it was Phantom 7000, which is fun. That was for the German reissue. It had a German one for when it actually came out, but I chose that one because I could pronounce it. And then in Mexico, it was called Mysterios del Espacio. Why did that sounds Italian? Spacchio,
Espacio.
Espacio. I'm just going to go with that because
Mysterios del Espacio.
Okay. We're going to go with that. Thank you. Fun names. Synopsis is shortly after a giant robot destroys a village, aliens from outer space arrive, offering friendship. Will the people of Earth tie these two events together?
That thing looks like the thing that comes by and picks my garbage up every Friday.
Except he couldn't, because look, he can't pick up anything. Why do you build a robot that can't even open a door? Although it's probably not a problem for him because he's so darn big, but
he just makes his own doors. Did you not watch the movie?
I guess, yeah. That's right. The door is anywhere he wants.
All right. Well, let's go around and find out when we first watched this, what we thought, and all kinds of goodies like that. And we'll start off with the gentleman who picked this film to find, Chad Hunt.
I've only saw parts of this movie, and it's usually the very beginning. Because as a kid watching it, once the big giant robot was gone, I had no interest whatsoever in what was going on. So this is the first time I've watched it all the way through completely. And I have to say, it's not a bad movie as far as these movies, kaiju movies and these type of movies go. There's just a lot of, I think it's their bid to have a space opera type movie, something along those lines. And but they did it kaiju style with miniatures and giant robots and things like that. I didn't think it was a bad movie. The copy that watched was not a very good one. I recall it being very bright and colorful, um, seeing it different times, but this one was very dark and the dubbing wasn't good. The audio wasn't very good or anything, but I still enjoyed it. So there's some just hilarious moments in there too of silly things like when they took the 5 scientists. I want these particular 5 scientists, and you'll have to wear these outfits to. And all 4 or 5 of them walked in looking like Dracula.
Yeah, you got to wear the
You know,
capes. It's cold.
Yeah.
inside.
Oh yeah.
And this is a so that was hilarious to me, and just some things like that. It reminded me a lot of Shin Godzilla. If you've ever seen Shin Godzilla,
Yes.
A lot of bureaucracy going on, and what are we going to do now, and what are we going to do this and that. So it reminded me a little bit of Shin Godzilla in that regard. So, but overall, I did enjoy it. It sort of brought back the little kid in me watching it. Movies like this every day after you get home from school on TBS. They always had these kind of movies on going, and I like it for that reason alone. Just for the member berries, I liked it. So.
Excellent. All right, joining us next. It's Daphne. Daphne, what did you think of this film? What was your first impression? What does it hold up today? And
Well, I hadn't seen this before, and I thought there was lots of really good stuff in the movie. I enjoyed it a lot. I liked how great it looked. I thought that the color was great, the miniatures, the special effects, the set design, the costumes, all very cool looking. I really enjoyed and thought it was interesting that it's basically a robot kaiju alien invasion movie. The robot is a weapon more than anyway, that was, I thought, was really interesting. We were talking about this earlier, but he has one of my favorite actors in it, Takashi Shimura, who plays the Dr. Adachi, I think. And I was thinking a lot about it afterwards. Well, I kind of started thinking about it when I was watching it, but also thinking about it afterwards. And that, there were so many military montages. There was almost too many. I was like almost too much. And I was getting kind of distracted. But the more I thought about it, the more it really made me appreciate and think more about how Honda's movies are like humanistic. They're humanist. He's a humanist director. And that even though there are so many military of the montages, the war and destruction, it's not like gleeful or like, totally entertainment. It's more of like to point out that it's not normalized. You don't normalize it, and you don't, talking about morality and fear and things like that. So I have always thought that was a really cool thing in kaiju movies and some other movies like that, where it makes you think about things a little bit more if you want, or just enjoy it as a good monster flick or something. I started watching it, the dubbed version, and it was terrible. I could such a hard time. I think I watched 15 minutes of it or something, and then I was like, oh, no. So I have the Criterion channel, so I watch the subtitles on there, and it's so much better. If you guys watch this, try with subtitles. It just, the whole feel of the movie changed. At least the dubbing version that I saw, it wasn't good.
Wasn't good. Oh, no. All right. Next up is kaiju expert among us, I would say, is the one and only Bill Mulligan.
What Chad said pretty much repeats my feeling. I'm pretty sure I have watched this entirely as a kid, but it didn't leave a big impression because I was like, oh boy, it's got this giant robot and he's really barely in it. and a lot of talk and all. I appreciate it more now. So watching it now, and also back in the day, dreadful copies where pan and scanned, or it was completely cut out. This is a widescreen movie and needs to be seen that way. I think I first saw the version Chad was talking about when I was going to watch it again. I was like, oh, this is dismal. But I did manage to find a decent, I've been replaced, a decent looking copy. And I really enjoyed it. I like the pulpy thing, the vibe that it gives. And it makes me think the military stuff that Daphne was talking about, this is only 12 years after Japan was utterly destroyed. If you see Godzilla -1, it's one of the few movies to really give a sense of just how devastated this country was. They were being taken apart. They lost utterly. And now 12 years later, we're starting to see with the military montage, it is overdone, but I have the feeling that's probably there for the Japanese audience to show, we're back, where we're not bayoneting babies in China anymore, but we're coming back and making, we're starting to matter again. It's a matter of national pride. And you start seeing that in some of the kaiju movies too, where like War of the Gargantuas, where they're putting up a good fight. They're actually able to hold their own against the kaiju, as opposed to everything just bouncing off them.
Well, here they win.
Yeah, yes, they do. And also there's the plea, and you're right about the humanism of Honda. The fact that the idea of let's bring everyone in on this, the whole world, where we're divided. 1957, we're pretty heavy in the Cold War. But here's a threat that threatens us all. And we need to put aside all our little petty differences, or not so petty differences, doesn't matter. All that will be irrelevant if we're taken over by a bunch of aliens. Although the aliens seem reasonable, they just want, a little tract of land, and they don't want our women like we're supposed to just ship them over there. They want the right to marry our women. And we know there would be women lining up, because you just have to look around the world and, you see a story. A woman married a tree. A woman married an AI. A woman married a robot. So yes, there would be. They would have their pick of the litter.
Well, we can let them have all those women.
Yeah, well, that's true, and they probably wouldn't look as good as the women that they were kidnapping in this movie. But beggars can't be choosers. A bunch of radioactive, mutants. You take whatever we give you. But this seems like a reasonable request. It's just that a bunch of liars.
Yeah.
Bunch of liars.
With a weird fashion sense. What was that whole thing about? Put on this cape. It's like, why? Never you mind why.
Well, they said it was cold. Didn't they say it was cold?
They look like the guy from Iron Chef. I mean, it was a ridiculous. But then you see the aliens themselves, and it's like they're like Power Rangers and everything. So yeah, these guys. I will say, one thing about this, I like. There's two things about Earth that are great. No matter what in the universe, I've been thinking about this. What is so special about Earth? Aliens ever come to Earth? Why? And the answer is this. One, I'll bet we are almost unique among intelligent life, because the odds of this happening are very tiny, that we have spectacular eclipses. Because our moon is just about the right size that when we have an eclipse, it almost, but not quite entirely covers the sun and leaves just a little tiny rim. That is not true for any other eclipse in this solar system. And I imagine the odds of it happening are really, really slim. We just lucked out. So they will come here. It will be a tourist attraction. When there's going to be an eclipse, aliens will fly down. They're probably already here. We just can't see them. They got cloaking technology. So we got that going for us. And we got beautiful women. There's no denying. Because I've watched a lot of these movies, and these things look like fleshy-headed, cephalopods, and they still find our women attractive. There you go.
There you go.
They had a list even of the ones that they wanted.
Yes.
Wait a
requirements.
These are our requirements. We want these scientists and these women.
Okay.
So are most horny aliens from outer space.
Yeah. But at least they want to marry them, which to me shows a level of respect and a kind of old-fashioned, quality that I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
they did. Yeah.
Appreciate that in the Alien.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks,
remember-
alien.
Yeah.
Next, I remember reading about this in the magazines, but I didn't see it until you chose it, Chad.
Really?
So yeah, this is new for me.
Wow.
And
Okay.
they front loaded the kaiju. That's unusual.
Yeah.
Usually you have to
They
wait
really
for the
did.
kaiju. You get it in the front, and then there's no more kaiju, and then you have weird aliens. So it becomes an entirely different kind of film. And yeah, and you do have they do have like the precursor to all those crazy shows from the 70s and 80s. But I mean, that was just a thing. That was just a thing that they did. I enjoyed it. I started watching the crappy copy as well. And I got a couple minutes into it and I said, no way. And I started searching and I did find, I don't have Criterion. But I did find a copy on another site.
Daily Motion or something.
Daily Motion. And it was actually, it was dubbed, but it was it was Toho scope and all that thing, and so it wasn't cut and everything, and it was clear and bright and vibrant, like you said, Chad. And I enjoyed it. And I didn't find the dubbing that bad, but I will confess, I wasn't really paying attention to the dubbing. I was just watching it, so it didn't really matter to me. But I will confess that I'd rather watch the original language and
me too.
Yeah, because you get the just the emotion out of it, the emphasis out of it, and and the rhythm, because a lot of these languages will have nice rhythm when they talk.
Yeah,
and I really appreciate that. So I am jealous that I didn't get to see it.
And I looked for it. I looked for a subtitled one that other people could watch without having to sign up, and I didn't have much luck finding one.
Yeah. Now it is out there, but a lot of times what you find is that I guess it looks like maybe a copy that is on public domain or something. But the one from that actually got released with the Toho scope, and it was actually pretty good. So I mean it's interesting because it's basically they're getting invaded by foreigners, right? Yeah, and the foreigners want to take the women. So I mean, it does have kind of the underlying thing, like, oh no,
and a little bit of land. They want
a little bit, and a little bit. They just want a little bit of land,
a sliver of land.
We want this 12 kilometers of land. Well, okay, we can see that. And your women. Whoa!
Can't have the women. But they went to they're from Mysteria or something like that, or Mysterio or some planet, and then they've been riding around a little bit, and then they lived on Mars for a bit. Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
Until they decide to come down here, and
it turns out we have better looking women.
Yes.
Just gonna say.
Also water and air. So all the things you really need,
Mars must have some ugly women, because there's women, Mars needs women, I'm married to monster from outer space.
Can I are you I'm sorry if I interrupted you, Dot. Go ahead.
Sure. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, to clarify the dubbing, I get it just seemed really obvious a little bit that I saw that it really changed the vibe of at the beginning of the movie when the fire starts, and when you watch in the dub version, to me it looked almost slapstick, the guys coming up, even though they were doing something brave, to fight the fire. It just looked like slapstick. And when you watch it, I was like, I gotta watch this in subtitles, because this is hard. Then I watched the subtitle, and it was like, yeah, they kind of were goofy, but it was clearly because they were scared. It wasn't slapstick at all. It was totally serious. And it just really showed how important that can be. I mean, I know some people don't like watching subtitles, and I get it. I'm not trying to force anybody, but it can drastically change and we've talked about it before, we can drastically change the story and your experience. But this was just, to me, just an extreme example of how much it changes.
Yeah, I did notice that. I also noticed it when the Moguera came out of the mountain and they were on that road trying to run away, and it felt the same way. The same way. It was a little silly.
Yeah. I think they used like Southern accents too. I don't know. In the dub one that I watched, it was kind of like, I don't know, it was just like a stereotype of kind of slapstick.
And who tracks their bike through the woods towards a fire?
Exactly.
Not
These
me.
incredibly brave men.
Yeah. Yes. Everyone got their bicycles. Let's go fight this fire.
Anyway, that's kind of what that was kind of just to clarify that. I watch lots of stuff in dubbing, and I'm not like don't want to sound like a snob or anything about it, but it just really struck me as an example of
I don't think you're a snob at all. I think it's legit because you lose the intention.
Well,
Sometimes
sometimes the better the dubbing, the worse it is, because the really good dubbers, they're trying to come up with words that will sort of match the lip movements, but that may not necessarily convey the actual intent of the screenplay.
Right.
So sometimes, if you watch a lot of kung fu movies, they always have "but still," and I guess that must just match some phrase in Chinese that matches the lips. But it's really obvious after a while. I hate if I'm watching a dub movie, a non-dub movie where I have to read the subtitles. After a while, when I remember the movie, I remember it as if it were in English. I'm reading it and everything. But let's keep something else in mind. We're all of a generation where we did a lot of reading, and we can read pretty fast. And I kind of wonder if a lot of modern audiences don't read that fast, and maybe. They just don't
I know that some folks just read also a little slower. I know that there's legit reasons why people aren't into it, but
some people just don't want to. I mean, I'm not slamming people, but they
I am.
We are cinephiles, right? So we're paying attention to every second that's going, and other people watch more casually. So if you're watching it, like you're doing something, you're just kind of, you're never going to be able to keep track. So I think that's a big.
What you just said is actually becoming a big deal. They had an interview with, I forget the actors, but they were talking about how Netflix, they want screenplays and shows that are for people who are not really paying attention, that they are the second screen. They're on their phone and they're watching a movie. So one of the things they talk about is you have to repeat the plot at least 3 times in the film. You got to put some exposition in there to repeat things that have already happened that they may have missed or forgotten about, which sounds really non-artistic.
That's terrible. That might be why they get such creepy ratings from all the but the crappy, not creepy.
Both sometimes, who knows?
Both.
Well, people that don't like reading subtitles really don't like reading subtitles. I mean,
that's true.
I think we touched on something there. Too. Yeah, mine too. I'm trying to watch the movie, not read the movie. You hear that a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't find it very hard to do both at the same time.
Yeah.
But I do think you have to be a cinephile to kind of get into it. I don't think it's for the general public.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, because it's supposed to be entertainment and light. Why do I have to read all of a sudden? But we're into the movie. We want to, we're talking about, we want the expression and all this stuff. And it's not snobbery. It's just that we're cinephiles.
My mama made me read, and I killed her. I'm not reading.
But also, I kind of, as I get into it, I forget that I'm reading it.
Yeah.
Me too.
It just happens. It just goes on autopilot after a while. I mean, at first, I have to warm up to it every time, but before long, I forget that I'm reading it.
Well, I think too, like you said, we grew up reading everything. We read magazines, we read books, and stuff like that. So you get to a point reading so much, you just look at a sentence. You don't have to read word for word. You just look at a sentence and know what it says.
Right. It's not phonics anymore. It's almost like you take in the whole information out. Oh well.
Me anyway.
I wonder if
when I
anybody's
read-
done a study on that. I'd be interested in that. But anyway, we should probably move on.
Yeah,
to-
sorry to hijack that.
If they
I mean,
did,
it's
they
a- I mean, it's an interesting
no
topic.
one would read it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
but
is.
let's take a look at some posters. This is a very interesting poster.
It just crack. It just the more I look at it, the more it's like this looks like
Yeah.
something. This is like the French version of a poster.
Yeah, it
They just
doesn't-
repeated that picture over and over, didn't they? When I
Right.
first looked at it, I thought they were all different, but it's the same guy over and over again. And I thought he had a cape, but that's not a cape. That's some
And it really emphasizes the
coming out of the
kidnapping
satellite.
women part, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
not a major part of the movie.
No,
but
it's not.
the poster does. And there's poor Moguera down at the bottom, like, "Hey, I'm here too. Hello."
Also starring Moguera.
Yeah. But the line work is interesting. It's so thin, and
Yeah,
You know,
it's got a
especially
French
for the-
feel to it.
yeah, it does. I'm wondering.
It's pretty cool.
Somebody had fun. Like, I'm going to experiment with this. Do you care? No, it's Mysterians to do it. So, yeah. So they got to play around. They had fun.
I like the thing at the bottom. Who can say it will not happen? Good point, I
It's
guess.
not.
Yeah.
If
Well,
it did happen, we'd be laughing about it.
Well, speaking of that, I got ahead of myself, and we
Oh,
need to
you
do-
did get ahead of
Oh.
yourself.
We did.
Now,
We
wait a
need to
minute.
do
Let's not get all the
Darn it.
lines from Chad.
He's playing it cool.
I was playing it real cool. I was like, that's right. Just ease on into the.
Let's keep moving.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead, Chad. Tell us the tagline, sir.
All right. Taglines for the Mysterians. They come from another world. They want 3 kilometers of land and 5 of your women.
5 of my women
5 of your women.
out of my dozen women.
Why is-
I have to give up
3
almost
kilometers?
You
half.
can
What?
spare 5, Bill. Come on.
Well, they're not getting the best 5. I'll tell you that right now.
That is hilarious.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Okay.
5 of
Space
my women.
monsters abduct Earth women. They seem to be hung up on that.
They did.
Yeah,
Well,
they
the
really
posters
they're
have
taking
it
that
on
woman
there, right?
thing hard.
In big screen color.
What?
Okay,
That's fair.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
Just because it's true doesn't make it a tagline.
No,
That's
not
Good
really. Yeah.
point.
Space monsters invade the Earth. Boy, they're busy. Kidnapping women and invading the Earth at the
Well,
same time.
you know, one comes after the other.
Join humankind's most treacherous battle for survival.
Treacherous.
Treacherous.
God knows we can't part with 5 women.
Or 3 kilometers away.
5? I've only got 1 and I can't handle hers. I handle 5. Just because you're an alien. From behind the moon they come to invade the Earth, abduct its women, level its cities. Because why not?
From behind the moon they come, says Yoda.
Behind the moon they come.
From behind the moon they come.
Yes.
The greatest science fiction picture ever conceived by the mind of man.
All right. That was Taglines with Chad.
Chad's our hero, cool and rad. With him reading taglines, they can't be that bad.
Boing.
You like that? Boing. All right, back to the posters. We were on this one, and we're going to move to this one. Which
I think
Almost
I
the
am
same
going to make
thing,
a
just a
t-shirt
little
though that
rearranged.
says just because it's true doesn't make it a tagline.
I know.
I had to write that down.
That's an awesome quote.
I noticed Moguera moved himself up to the center there. He's still
Oh, way
waving
to
at
go.
us. And he was like, yeah, that's right.
He waving with his little pointy
My
finger.
laser beams are
Um,
cutting the title into the poster.
What is it? The Barbaros invading La Tierra.
Los Barbaros.
Is
invading La
that
Tierra.
the barbarians invade the Earth?
Earth, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, something like that.
Barbarians? We got a spaceship.
Or
and
am I
laser
just
beams.
Englishifying it?
Dang.
It's
I like
actually-
the cameo by Sputnik. Look, we got Sputnik right in the middle of the poster.
The
Well,
alien guy
that's
lost
actually
his
that's
hand.
actually in the movie though.
Yeah, it's a
They
ball
they,
with
they
an
land like
antenna.
4 or 5 of those, right?
Yeah.
Did they all take their pants off before they came down from the?
Oh, they
Yeah.
did.
Oh my
Hey.
gosh,
Oh,
what
I
the
didn't
heck?
notice
What's
that.
going on there?
They come from Uranus looking for your pants.
Oh,
Well,
that was a
should,
good
yeah, we should have an
Uranus
alien
talk.
movie. They come to Earth because they want our pants.
Yes.
It's a technology they've never
Oh
mastered.
my gosh. This one I really like. I like this one because
These guys
just,
got like body pants.
yeah.
Mm.
They're still floating around though,
Yep.
Mhm.
marrying their women.
Sort of
Who's the
reminds
guy
me of
down
Gotcha
below?
Man.
That's funny. Gotcha
Yeah.
Man.
Gotcha, man.
But it does feel like one of those, the what are those little books they would make back then? I know like a dime store book. But
Yeah,
whatever the
yeah.
magazines like weird and
Oh, look, it's got everything. It's got
Ah,
spaceships, alien kidnapping a woman, and another guy threatening to shoot some Earth guy, probably her boyfriend, with a fancy looking pistol.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Had
just
cool
the
space-
Mysterians, right?
Mhm.
Mysterian.
Yeah.
All right. Now this is the one. The next one coming up is the one I remember seeing
Mm.
Yeah.
somewhere, because that's impressive.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If only he were that big.
But is it compared to that? Is it impressive?
Look at him.
Is it this or is it that? Which one would you rather see?
That's a bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got that spy versus spy face there, and
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, it does.
was he supposed to? He kind of reminds me of like those really fancy samurai suits, the armor where it's like folded and everything. And
Yeah.
is that the idea? But it just gives him really go back to him by himself.
I was
He's got
thinking
re-
garbage truck.
He's got really chunky thighs, and I don't know. He doesn't look fast, and he wasn't fast.
But he didn't
could
need to be.
outrun him. No, I
Zap,
guess
zap,
not.
zap, zap, zap.
It's got his blue jeans on.
Yeah.
I'm
His
pretty
new
sure
sneakers.
He's got eyebrows, right? It looks like he's got eyebrows.
he does.
And TV
An
antenna?
antenna, a TV antenna gets great
Mhm.
reception.
Yeah, I bet he does. That's your pre-satellite satellite.
Yeah. Sometimes on a stormy day, he doesn't get channel 5, but otherwise,
It's
pretty
true.
good.
No matter how you
I thought he was supposed to look like a tank, like a
Mm.
Yeah,
Like the treads of a tank.
the treads of a tank.
it would have been cool if he fell over and just rolled along,
Yeah,
run into things.
Yeah. that would be.
That would have looked even more ridiculous, but okay.
Yeah, I would have, right? And this one was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's busy. That's for darn sure.
It is busy, but they always are, right? Aren't they
Yeah.
always kind of?
Yeah, they cram as much in there as they can.
We got spaceships on the top, Earth destruction in the middle, and a bunch of actors watching it all. Well, actually, they're looking at us, but
Yeah.
looking
So that's
at
the
us
first one
watching-
to show the little ball house that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Look how tiny the robot
Globe.
is.
I guess it's a globe, not a ball, right? It's a globe house. I like this one. This looks like a card, right? Like a lobby card.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like this one a lot. I do. It's just good. And all a bunch of C's and all kind of weird things.
We got the mark of
C,
life.
C.
Yeah, see.
I spared you, Chad. I spared you, Chad.
Thank
I
you,
didn't
man.
put all these C's in there.
Jeff would have had
I
you
could
read, so
have.
you would have had an additional 6 taglines.
Yeah.
I spared you.
6 more ways for me to get angrier and angrier.
And one more poster. Oh my gosh, we got so many posters. And well, these
I don't know what these are. They're little bits of
Like-
art. And
They're very cool.
they're very cool and very art
Wait
a
deco,
minute,
very
wait a minute.
modern. You know.
wait a minute.
What?
Are they in here? Are they in the orange?
Are they the orange ones with full color? I don't think so.
It doesn't look like it.
So okay, so it's like him and on the left, zip zip, and he's got like a little
I just
firework
love
coming.
the style. It's hard
Yeah,
to
no,
describe.
no,
It's simple
no.
and
It's
yet
not.
really cool
No, it's
looking.
not. It's different. Yeah. Sorry, talking over you. Go ahead.
The style is very cool. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that style?
The way the
No,
future is
50s
supposed to look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it is like 50s kind of sci-fi-ish, right? So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
but it does. I mean it feels of a time, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, but in yeah, okay. But let's move on to the director, who is, if you love kaiju films and
Yep.
Toho Studios, you know Ishiro Honda.
Honda.
Um,
And
Ooh.
I got a bunch of
So
Japanese
many.
versions of movies we all know and love. There's a smattering of them there. I mean, there's a bunch more. He did a lot of great kaiju movies, a lot of great science fiction stuff, the H-Man, and so many things. And also Matango. So many great ones. Best known, of course, for the Godzilla series and Rodan and Mothra, but also a recognized, very well respected in Japan among people who know these things, like the great Kurosawa, who is on any list of the 5 greatest directors of all time. Respected Honda so much that used him to, especially toward the end of his life when Kurosawa was pretty much blind. His last few movies, which are glorious explosions of color, a lot of that was co-directed. I mean, I don't know what Honda was pretty modest about it, but I mean, somebody had to actually be there who could see what was going on, making sure that Kurosawa's vision was held true, and that's the man he trusted. So a great filmmaker. And,
Yes.
Yeah.
And he did do some non-Godzilla films.
Mhm.
I mean, you've probably got a bunch of them in there, but like Battle in Outer Space, The Human Vapor, Matango, you mentioned that, Etrigan, Dagora.
Yeah.
He did Frankenstein versus Baragon.
Yep. I'm not as
War of the
big a fan
Gargantulas,
of
which makes sense.
I'm not as big a fan of the Japanese
King
sci-fi
Kong
movies as I am of the kaiju ones. But
He did Latitude Zero, which was
Latitude was all of these we will one day.
Santos loved Latitude Zero for
Really?
Space Amoeba, which is a fun one. Yog, it was Yog the Space Monster is what I always knew it as, but Space Amoeba.
Yep.
Yeah. So really, and it just goes on and on and on. I mean, we could almost do an entire episode just on him and fill hours.
That's a thought. Yeah.
Didn't he do some stuff that might be considered like noir?
I'd have to go back and check. I sometimes get my Kurosawa and my Honda mixed up.
I might be doing that. Yeah.
Well, he did something called, well, maybe. I mean, I don't recognize them because I don't know if they're what they are, but there's all kinds of non-genre films in there.
I think a lot of the non-genre stuff ended up staying in Japan. But
you know, when you were talking about Honda working with Kurosawa, I knew I had heard that, but I didn't really pay attention to the movies that he did that. And there was one movie, Rhapsody in August, towards the end of Kurosawa's, I think it was like in the 90s, maybe, or early 2000s, that is beautiful, like beautiful color and stuff. And so I had to look it up, and he was the assistant director on that one too.
Yeah, and we lost him in 1993 at the age of 81. So still directing, I would imagine.
He stopped directing in 1975, or officially stopped directing, I guess, for his own movies, because I think the ones that he worked with Kurosawa happened after that.
Yeah, and then of course a lot of the films would use clips of the earlier films, so you get credits well into the up until 2000. He still has a credit for the original material. So every time you see the original Godzilla clips or something like that, he gets a credit.
Yeah, I would really recommend two that he did with Kurosawa: Kagemusha and Ran from 1980 and 1985. He's listed as director counselor for Ran, whatever that
is amazing.
Means.
Yeah, Ran is amazing. Yeah,
absolutely fantastic.
Are we moving into the actors here?
Sure, there's a lot of them.
Okay, so we got Ken Giara and Bill. Tell us about this young man.
Well, you could see from the top picture, everyone remembers him with an eye patch from the original Godzilla. Just a really good actor. He knocked it out of the park with Godzilla, and he's certainly fun here. He's young, he's good looking. What you'll see is these actors kept showing up in different roles in these series. It's weird that like the Godzilla series is a continuing series, but the actors in there are playing other characters. So because he didn't make it out of Godzilla alive, of course, but he's in King Kong versus Godzilla, Bantango. One of my favorites, Atragon. Where, so what you see with a lot of these, with the science fiction movies, they realized the kaiju is really where their bread was buttered. So they'll do Atragon, which is a science fiction thing, but they'll also stick Manda in there. They'll have a monster who shows up. Gorath is a walrus that shows up, except in the American version for some reason.
Oh,
yeah, I know. Space Godzilla and Ultra Q, one of the many variations of Ultraman, which you probably have to talk to Jerry Chandler to get it all straightened out, but it's complex.
yeah. And I do have to apologize. I made up a new name for him. I think I called him Kenji Sahara. No, it's Kenji Sahara, right?
Okay, thank you. I'm just going to nod along.
I just chopped it up in a whole new way. I am so sorry. My apologies. But yeah, he's a lot of fun movies. And he even came back in Final Wars in 2004. Right? And he's still with us.
Oh, really?
Still with us.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
impressed. Well,
he is officially in his 90s.
Oh,
Wow.
I mean, when did Godzilla come out? Was it like 54 or 55? It's
54. I just have it written down here. Yeah, 54.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, he's in his 90s. God bless him.
Yeah. And the next actor is Tashi. I'm going to have to look up here. Takashi. Oh, good gosh. Somebody help me out. What is his name? I don't have.
You're on your own, pal.
I'm on my own.
I think it's Takashi Shimura, but
Thank you. Yes. Boing.
Daphne, tell us about this guy.
Yes.
he's one of my favorite actors. I can't tell you a lot about him, but he is in Seven Samurai, pretty big deal in Seven Samurai, and he was in Kwaidan. And he's been in tons of movies. He's been in tons of Kurosawa movies, and I don't know how many, but probably a lot of Hondas also. You probably know more than I do about that, but he's swell. He's great. I think he's great.
I can't believe I didn't put Akuru in here because it's one of my favorite movies, and his performance is absolutely heartbreaking. He's not a big guy. He's not a physically imposing guy, but he's just got a dignity and a certain gravitas. You're watching Seven Samurai, and of course he's the leader. There's no question he's the leader. You take one look at him, there's only one person you're going to follow, and it's going to be him. He's got that quality. But in Akuru, holy crap, does that movie pull at you in the best way possible? Not overly sentimental at all, but good stuff. He is a fantastic actor. Now, so for this slide, I showed like more of the critically acclaimed films that he was a part of. And I really want to give a shout out to High and Low, which is a Kurosawa movie that doesn't get all the attention that a lot of his others do. It's a police procedural with an amazing amount of social commentary. It is so good. It is so good.
Yeah, his first role was in 1934. And it's just like 6 and 7, 8, 10 films a year. And he did 349 films before he was done.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. We could go through tons of stuff for him. And we lost him in 1982 at the age of 76.
Yeah, the other slide is some of the more kaiju-esque or genre favorites. Although I also slipped Throne of Blood in there, which is another masterpiece. Kurosawa's retelling of Macbeth. And just shows you how Shakespeare touched on universal themes. Yeah. He makes Macbeth a story of a samurai warlord. Barely has to change a thing. and it works perfectly well.
Wow.
You know, two cultures that weren't even aware of each other's existence when it was written, but it's absolutely perfect.
I have to seek that
And we
one
got
out.
Mothra and the original
Yeah.
Godzilla and Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. You know, just good stuff.
Oh, that's just Ghidra. Ghidra. Yes. And next up is Momoko Kachi.
Look at that
she's
picture.
really good.
Look at that picture with her strolling down the street with Godzilla
love it.
holding an
That's
umbrella.
holding an
I
umbrella.
love it.
Oh my God, holding an umbrella. I guess it would get hot.
That is.
I love it.
She came back for Godzilla versus Destroya because that was supposed to be the end of it. It's not the end. It'll be the end when we say it's the end, and we're never.
Yeah, it's never. We're gonna get 2 this year. 2 Godzilla movies this year.
That's how
Wow.
it would
We're
be.
getting an American one and a Toho one.
Yep. And for once,
So
I'm not
cool.
embarrassed about the American one. So
Half Human was a great movie too.
it is, and it's so hard to find for a number of reasons, but it's really, really good. And
What's the story?
it's
I mean,
about
half human, but
it's a Yeti. It's a Yeti. So now, okay,
oh, cool.
there's the original Japanese version. Find it if you can, but good luck because it takes place in like the mountains of Japan where the indigenous people there are very superstitious. Well, apparently that was when the movie came out, they considered it maybe racist or something against them.
Yeah, there was a lot of controversy about
There's
it.
some controversy there. So it kind of got shuffled out there. And the monster he's what, like 9 or 10 feet tall, which they do a really good portraying.
Couple of heads over a house.
Yeah.
Like
So
one of their houses, he was like 2 or 3 heads above the house.
Yeah, it's a monster, but it's not a over the top crazy monster. But it's also got a very it's also very sentimental. I mean, boy, Asian movies don't play by the rules that we're used to. If we've got a cute little baby Bigfoot in a movie, you can be pretty sure he's not going to die 3/4 of the way through the movie. Well, don't go into Half Human with that attitude because you're going to be yeah. But it's good. It's really, if you can find it, it's excellent.
Yeah.
Now, then America took it and threw out a bunch of stuff and stuck in John Carradine, basically some stuff at the beginning and end to, I don't know, wrap it up. I guess
he was just yelling, "The power!
The power!" I guess after Godzilla, they thought that was the secret to making things work. And this was actually, I think, one of the follow-ups to Godzilla. It came very soon after Godzilla. It was Rodan. When Rodan came out, and they didn't bother doing any Americanized stuff, and it was still a big hit. They were like, "Oh well, forget it then. If people are willing to just watch a bunch of Japanese people without Raymond Burr or anyone else they know, more profit for us." Anyway, she's really good. I like her. She's cute. I can see why people would fly 300 light years to kidnap her.
And she looked exactly the same as she did in the first movie as she did in Godzilla versus Destroya. She looked hardly aged a day.
She probably went off to the Mysterians and she's using their alien know-how to stay young.
All right, now you have the leader of the Mysterians, Yoshio Tsuchiya, maybe. I'm sure that's wrong.
Could be.
Now, somebody was telling me a story, or I heard it. I think it might have been you, Bill. That he did.
Doc and I had lunch the other day, and we were yapping about. We were gossiping about all the rest of you. So he was a very popular, very handsome actor, in demand, and when they, he wanted this role, and they're like, "But you'll be in a mask the whole time. They won't see your handsome face, and your fans will be disappointed." But he was like, "No, I like this. This is a challenge. You can't see my face." That's me. If I say something like that, it's like, I'm planning on drinking heavily the night before, so I'm cool with a role where you can't see that my eyes are bloodshot. But he was more into, the challenge of it, and he kind of created something that you'll see in subsequent Toho movies that have aliens, this very theatrical acting. I think of the aliens from Monster Zero who also act that way, as they should, because the same actor's playing him. That's him on the middle left-hand side in that pretty funky. And, you know, now that I look at it, that kind of reminds me of like Daphne doing the Mario Baba movie.
The Planet of the Vampires
The
color.
vampire,
Yeah.
you know, that
Yes.
cool yellow and black color. That's a really good
Yeah.
look. And the glasses, and you know,
Yeah, that's
acting
awesome.
with his
Great.
hands and doing a lot of that, and it's cool. It works. It really works. I
So
like
that appears in later Toho movies too. That kind of
Yes.
interesting, because I noticed it in this movie, but it's interesting that it kind of took off and stuck around for a little bit.
All Toho aliens wear really cool Roy Orbison dark black glasses, so you can't do much. You can't do much with the eyes, you know, and so you. And in a sense that makes sense. Whenever you meet people that you don't understand, you do a lot of we will conquer the, or whatever.
And talk really loud usually.
He was also in Son of Godzilla and Godzilla, Monster Zero. He was the alien, the human vapor. I think he may have been the human vapor. I'm not sure about that. And everyone's favorite. It's not the best one, but it's the one we love the most. Destroy all monsters.
All monsters, yes.
Because we got all the monsters there.
And he was an alien in that too, right?
Was he? I'm trying to remember.
Was he the alien?
The aliens were mostly women, as I recall.
Oh, in that one, yes. I
And they
might be
turned into
confusing it
rocks.
with another one. Yeah.
Space amoeba, is that Anguirus and Ibira?
Yes,
Who
that's
is that?
oh no, that's Yog, monster from space.
No, I know that, but the two
They
creatures
do
he's fighting
look
is-
alike, but yeah, it's actually a giant turtle. It's the closest we ever came to Gamera in a Toho
Okay.
movie, and a big crab
The lobster. Oh, I thought it was a lot. Yeah, big crab.
and a cuttlefish.
Now he was in High and Low, which you talked about.
Okay.
He played Detective Murata, and he was in Yojimbo and Sanjuro and Seven Samurai. So he,
was in a bunch.
yeah.
You know, that's one of the things we kind of in America. It's like if you're making movies like this, that's the movies you make.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to see Leonardo DiCaprio making, that kind this sort of B movie sort of thing. But in Japan, you could be top-notch actor and you're making Academy Award nominated movies, and then you're making stuff about a giant cuttlefish running around like turtles. There's no shame in it. You're a working actor, you work, and everyone involved in these things is giving it their all. I like that.
He has credits of 113 credits. That's what he has. And we lost him in 2017 at the age of 90.
Wow.
All right. Up next is Akihiko Hirata. And this is our image. And he looks very familiar too.
This is also, wait a minute. I think this is my second part. Didn't we already do him?
Not by the title of the
Well,
name.
I probably got mixed up.
To mess
somewhere.
up? It says Akihito in it.
This is the main character, the guy who went to the aliens, right?
This is the one.
Yeah, the guy
The
that
main
went with him.
character,
at the
the
end.
first guy. Mhm.
Mhm.
Are you? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably all messed up at this point. Wait a minute.
But he was in Ultraman. He was Professor Awamoto. In Ultra Q. So they are. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I messed
I'm
this
going to leave it to you.
darn good. Hold on here. Boy, and he was
I mean, you have the right films in there for.
no, he is
Yeah.
Dr. Sarazawa. Okay, so this is the guy who played Dr. Sarazawa for sure.
Yes.
And also another great series. He was in the Samurai series, Samurai 1, Samurai 2, and Samurai 3, about the great duel. It's just the Miyamoto versus Seijuro, it's the Japanese version of Gunfight at the OK Corral.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Got it. Yeah, just absolutely. And true, based on a true story. And so who was the other actor that I had him confused with? Oh, well, who knows?
I think you had him confused with this guy.
Okay. And what's his name? Kenji.
Yes, Kenji Ahara. Which,
okay, hold on. Let me just
which
see.
those were right for him as well.
Oh yeah, he just had a little bit part in Godzilla. He was the man I think rescued on the boat, and but he had a better part in Rodan,
Mhm.
and the H-Man, Mothra, Gorath, King Kong versus Godzilla, Matango, Atragon, Mothra versus
So who
Godzilla.
are you talking about now?
This is all Kenji Sahara.
Okay, yes.
I screwed up with that. This guy apparently was a good luck charm because I think you'd have an easier time finding a kaiju movie he was not in. And when they started coming back with the new versions, the Godzilla versus King Ghidorah and Mecha Godzilla 2 and everything, he's still in all of them. He's all the way to Final Wars. So they kept him in everything. So I guess I was right that he was in all of these. Maybe I had the right picture. I don't know. I'm bad with faces.
I've lost my
really
way. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Back to this.
All right. Let's see who is up
Varan,
next.
we
meant to
we
do
have,
this before this.
Terra,
You've got
Godzilla. We've got the H-Man's kind of a cool movie, actually. Of all the sci-fi ones, I think I like that one the best. Or maybe Mantango. Mantango was fun too.
Okay. Up next, you have Yumi Shirakawa.
Hopefully, it's a woman, so I got that at least that part right.
Yes.
Yes. So,
She played. I'm not even going to pronounce it. Go ahead. Tell us about these films.
well, there's Rodan, of course. Really good one. Gorath, which is the sci-fi one where Gorath is a giant planet or a moon that's about to smash into the earth. And so we come up with is another one of those things where we got to stick together, folks. It's us or Armageddon. And we put a bunch of rockets in the Arctic to push the earth out of orbit, which sounds to me like, one, it would not work. And two, if it did work, we would be royally screwed. But it does. But then you're watching this movie and there's there's some weird earthquakes never mentioned again until you see the Japanese version. And it's because it woke up a giant walrus. And there's, like a 10-minute sequence where you got to fight the giant walrus. And at the last minute, they said, well, this is kind of silly. And they took it out of the American stuff. And I'm like,
but they left it on the poster.
This is where you draw the line. This is where you draw the line. Yeah, the walrus. Okay. And he does look pretty silly. Walruses are not really all that scary.
Even when they're giant.
Yeah.
Well, she was in 121 credits there.
Wow.
And we lost her in 2016 at the age of 79. And she had roles right up to 2014. So.
Secret of the Telegian, which I have not seen, but I don't know how much of a secret it is. He's right there on the cover. It looks like he's transporting and stuff. They did a lot of these sci-fi ones where these people would invent really cool things like invisibility or whatever, and they just used it to rob banks. Which might be what the average person would actually do if you had that power, I guess,
Yeah. All right. Up next, I got to get this name because
we're just torturing you.
Yeah, you are.
Did you just pick this movie, Chad, to make Doc have to stumble over the names?
Oh, this is the actor who played Moguera. Haru. Okay, you pronounce it, Jeff or Bill or
Jeff
Dave, or anybody that's in there. I'm just throwing names out there.
I freeze-answer that on the principle alone.
I should know this because especially given the next.
I know.
Picture.
Yeah,
Hold on. Let me get it right. Haruo Nakajima.
There you go.
Haruo Nakajima. And
thank you.
This man, he played the original Godzilla and pretty much everything else.
Yep.
Everything, they hung him on wires. He's Rodan. They stick him in this silly costume. He's Moguera. He's one of the Gargantuas. There was himself and another good actor who's also, plays Moguera in here, and whose name, unfortunately, I forget, were the two suit guys they would do. And I had the great honor, one of the happy moments of my life. Yes, he came to America. He was doing conventions. He was very old, very frail. his granddaughter could speak English and was translating for him. I went to the speech he gave. I waited for hours in line, but then he got too tired and had to go back. And they said he would try to come back at another time, and he did. And this time I got to get his autograph on a Godzilla poster and tell him what everyone told him, just how much we appreciated the sacrifice he made. I loved his speech. I wish I had recorded it. He was very modest, and at the same time, you could tell very proud of what he had done. He would tell the stories, and the stories were variations of he's trussed up in a Rodan costume, hanging by wires thin enough that they could be almost invisible, so not strong, as they shoot fireworks at his rubber, i.e. flammable costume, until the wires break and he crashes to earth. And then he gets back up and does it again, because that's the kind of work ethic he had. And like I said, he was very modest, but he wasn't fooling anyone. He was proud of the work he'd done, as well he should be.
Yes.
And I'm so happy that he got to come to America and have people falling at his feet. While I was there, somebody came up and they were wearing a really good Gargantua costume, and he was so delighted. So he looked like he was having a great time. He was quite elderly at the time, but still sharp as a tack. And yeah, I mean, he reaches out and grabs my hand. I wasn't gonna touch this guy.
So
this is
sweet.
royalty. He was so really.
And you look so happy.
Oh, I am beaming. I am
You're beaming.
I'm trying not to weep in front of this man and embarrass.
'Cause that's at least a decade ago.
What are you saying?
That's 10 years ago. Because okay, I was.
Here comes the best part of the show.
Let's just lean back.
That's a little less snow on the roof. A little bit of color remaining in my beard. A few less lines on my face.
No, I'm just saying that we lost him.
The ability to sleep without waking up with a bad back.
No,
yes, all that's true.
Yeah, I meant it because the reason why I brought it up is because we lost him in 2017 at the age of 88.
I have a feeling in my mind this is 2016, which is
It
actually
was
hurt.
Mad
To say,
Monster,
'cause that
right?
means I've really gone downhill in just a mere 9 years.
It was Mad
It
Monster.
seems like just yesterday. You heard about him passing away.
That was one of my favorite conventions for so many reasons. That was one of them, and the other was a live spook show like you would have gone to see in the old days in the theater, where everything went wrong. If it had been deliberate, it would have been one of the best written things ever, but things just went wrong. And Paul Cardullo and I laughed and smiled and cringed so much that the next day, you ever smile so much that the little muscles on the side of your head around your ears are in pain?
Yeah,
it was great. It was so good.
It was a good day. It sounded like.
Yes, it really was.
Oh, that's a great picture.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Yeah,
I got to meet him too. I didn't get a picture though, unfortunately.
Oh, cool,
Doc. But I got a signed photograph. He had photographs there, and I got one of those. And
I'm so enraptured by my own face. Notice the top picture there, where he is actually putting on the Moguera suit.
It's got half of it. Got all the thighs going on.
You got the thighs going. That might have been for when they show close-ups of his feet tromping on cities. No reason to wear the whole costume when you could do that. They did that for Godzilla as well. They had
there's some great shots of him.
Suspenders, where it's just the bottom half of Godzilla.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, great.
By the way, would be a great cosplay. A great cosplay. Was this
to
guy
play him
wearing the suspender thing? That would actually
that would be awesome. Okay, you got some time. Put it together.
Because the hard part of making a Godzilla costume is the other half.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And then here is the creature in some of its glory, which I think that's the same shot that I used for this, right? So
he definitely has the pew pew.
Now, okay,
eyes.
I am not. I gotta say, I am not 1,000% sure that we have this right. Because didn't Moguera show up again in? Was it Final Conflict?
He was in one of those.
He was in one of the newer
later,
ones too.
Yeah,
because the one on top the color looks a little bit different. than the color on the bottom one.
Was
but
it All
that
Monsters Attack or something?
might have been.
Was it that
might have
one? Oh yeah, he is. Well, maybe.
But that may
I
just
don't
be, it's a publicity shot too. But it's close enough. Pretty cool. So the laser effects are awfully cartoony. It looks like he's crying.
So much fun.
Oh my god, it looks like he's kind of like the anime.
Don't make me kill you.
No more screen time. No.
Moguera doesn't get an Earth woman.
Look, his eyes light up. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder. Is it just because we're Americans? I wonder. It is like in Japan. Is this like the coolest thing in Japan, and we're just naive? Savages.
You didn't show up in too many movies, so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they made a lot of, maybe not like that, but
it's like Jerry Chandler will always talk about how great Jet Jaguar is, and I just, point out that one, he's stupid, and two, how many other Jet Jaguar movies are there? And the answer is there are none. Case closed. Next case.
I like King Caesar. He's I like
King
Dora.
Also showed. These are all the characters who showed up like in. Final Wars just to be eliminated quickly.
Yeah.
Even the one from 1998, the U.S. one from 1998 got destroyed so quickly. It was like embarrassingly quick.
But I guarantee Jerry Chandler will be typing an angry letter about how
can't wait.
Only a Philistine doesn't appreciate how great Jet Jaguar and indeed everything in Godzilla versus Megalon. Look at these guys. Look at
the color also too. The color of everything.
And even like the columns had different colors in them and stuff. And
that middle picture, are they going to make us drink blood?
I know, like they're like.
So does the color coding mean something? So he's the orange means you're the king. Only he gets to wear that.
Yeah.
And the yellow guys, I guess, are his counselors, and the blue guys are just holding guns.
Cannon fodder. Yeah.
Cannon fodder. Yeah. Laser fodder.
But
and then we got our heroes cosplaying Count Yorga vampire.
Trying to get into a frat house is what it looks like.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Yep.
Then you've got the tubes of light. Yeah. What do they do? I don't know.
But they look awesome. They look spacey. So
yeah, they do. Great. They do something.
Keep everything running.
I love in alien movies where the aliens explain how everything works, and I realize that if an alien came to Earth, I couldn't do that. I couldn't say, "Yeah, this is a television set," and then explain how it works because I have absolutely no idea how a television set works. Yeah.
Well, at least their screen was larger than TVs that day. So almost as big. Well, they're bigger now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, we've got better technology than these aliens from Planet 10.
But wasn't long ago they weren't that big.
That's right. No, sorry. Oh, okay. When this movie came out, they weren't that impressive.
No.
Oh, look at that futuristic TV. Oh, if only I could live long enough to see something like that.
Yeah.
Time is now, my friend.
And then you got some shot of the action. The melting tanks.
Which were made out of wax. And then you hit them with a heat gun. And down they go. And it's like, boy, that's so elegant. And it works so well.
One of the other things I wanted to mention was there's an intro to the Criterion one that Alex Cox did, the director for Repo Man. And he points out that how Honda's special effects were really interesting technically, but also that they told parts of the story too. And so when I was going back and looking at some of the pictures, it's like, yeah, he really does tell stories with how the special effects happen. Like it's just so much more intense and cool. And like you said, elegant to see this melt, some of the deaths are just, I wouldn't say grotesque, but there's definitely some thought and intention in in how you see it, how it's portrayed. And I just think that's really cool because that's like a detail thing that is part of the story that really kind of makes it special.
Yeah,
I did like.
I love the mark lights.
Yeah,
mark lights are great. I hope we're working on that technology.
I like that they used these big ass flamethrowers.
Another thing that I found interesting in this too is a lot of the kaiju movies, especially the ones around the 70s and all, where Godzilla was like the friend of humanity and this and that. People are dying in mass. When that flood came and those people were running on that bridge and all of them just gone. They were wiping people out left and right over 5 women.
Yeah, getting rid of some of your options there.
Yeah.
These aren't the right women. Flood the town.
They could have come down in their UFO and just snatched 5 women, and we would have been none the wiser.
Yep.
That's the thing about the aliens. They're not always very strategically smart. Like my favorite is Atragon, where the alien, the civilization of Mu rises from the ocean and starts blowing up ships, and we're like, oh my God, what's going on? They're like, and that's what's going to happen to you if you don't stop Atragon. Don't you dare use Atragon against us. And then they go back down and we're all like, what the hell is Atragon? So then we start looking for it and then we find it and then we use it against them. And I'm like, man, ancient civilization of Mu, you are not very smart.
They were told.
Yeah. Chose your own destruction there. Oh, well.
Yeah. As we wrap up, some of the stuff that's in the trivia for this is that Martin Scorsese expressed admiration for the imagination of this film and other Toho science fiction films when he wrote the foreword to the director's biography.
Who does he think he is?
Yeah.
Scorsese.
I'll bet Quentin Tarantino likes it too.
Needed more feet. Can we show the 5 women's feet?
Needed more feet.
And Honda said that this was one of his favorites, or maybe his favorite film of all the ones he did, which surprises me. It's not one of my favorite Honda movies, but then I'm not Honda, so he's got more to say than I do.
Yeah. Well, it does get the kaiju out of the way, and then it gives us this,
Oh, here's another bit of trivia. The Moguera suit was, after filming, kept in storage in one of the Toho visual sound effects stage until 1974, when it was destroyed in a fire on the lot caused by a pyrotechnical accident during the filming of Prophecies of Nostradamus.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, also not a good movie. But,
I appreciated the trivia about how an American viewer reported the film to the FBI after taking their children to see it, claiming it was communist propaganda.
wow.
Concern over the Earth Defense Force, which depicted international cooperation between the U.S., USSR, and other nations. The individual wrote that they were deeply disturbed by the film's themes and suggested to the FBI to list films they deemed insidious anti-American brainwashing propaganda.
So just to let you know,
that's why they call it science fiction. In real life, none of those never get along.
So Karens have always been with us.
The Karens. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. All right. Well, that's our review of the Mysterians.
That's what we should do. We should have given them like 5 Karens. Just, oh yeah, you want 5 women? Here you go. Boom. That would be.
Who's in charge here?
Take me to your leader. Oh God, this is.
This food has no nutritional value at all.
We'd be like, please take them back. No, deal's a deal.
No.
That's okay. I don't want to go back. I like it here.
Oh, you guys.
Well, we want to hear your.
You can't park that kaiju there.
My sister Karen's
can't
probably going to
talk
write a
about
letter.
it.
Will you please stop that? Yeah. And it's Karen with a C, so it's not the same thing. And my sister's awesome. So
Oh man. Well, we love your feedback. Let us know what you think of this film and all the weird topics that we covered throughout the last hour and a half. And you can reach out to us at feedback@gruesomemagazine.com, or you can hit us up on the YouTubes or the Instagrams or the Facebooks. You do all that kind of stuff. Or you can just go to our site, gruesomemagazine.com or decadeshorror.com, and leave some comments there. Love to hear from you. And we do have some feedback tonight. And I'm going to let's see. Who wants to read Andy L? Bill? Chad? Daphne?
I'll read them.
All right. Volunteer. I like it when people volunteer. All right. We have Andy L is commenting about episode 219, The Little Shop of Horrors.
All right, Andy. Andy says, "Hi, crew. Good discussion of a somewhat overlooked film. Since the musical came out, it has kind of overshadowed the original. I first saw this on TV back in the 60s and many times over the years. Being from New York, I definitely could relate to the ethnicity of the movie. Unlike Chad, I always found it quite comedic, even when I was quite young. As an interesting coincidence, this was a favorite of my mother's as well. She actually got a videotape of it, which is something she almost never did. When the play did come out on Broadway, not the off-Broadway run, she got me tickets. It did include Ellen Greene as Audrey, and at the end of the production, Audrey too expanded to cover the entire orchestra section and almost reach into the balcony. Oh, I bet that was cool.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Yeah. I've also seen the Frank Oz one at least 3 or 4 times. Definitely a favorite of mine."
Awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Very cool.
As to Joe Dante using a lot of the Corman actors, since Dante began as an editor and then director of Corman, it certainly makes sense that he would have a fondness for a lot of these always reliable actors to give a memorable performance. Thanks for another fun episode, Andy L.
Andy, thank you. Again, we were reach out to us. We'd love to hear you. Yeah, but let us know what your 10 favorite Godzilla films are, or your 10 favorite Toho films that aren't Godzilla films. Would be interesting as well.
Or which ones you'd like to see us cover.
Even better. Thank you, Chad.
We need to do some more Kaiju stuff.
We do.
Yeah.
This was a blast.
it's one of my
Well, up
favorite
next-
parts doing the classic era is we've got all, most of the great Kaiju stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing Kaiju next episode
No.
because I wasn't part of this conversation before I picked. But we're going to do
A solid pick, Doc. Solid pick.
Yeah, we're going to do a mix of Vincent Price, Roger Corman, Edgar Allan Poe. That gives you a lot of choices, but we're doing The Mask of the Red Death.
Ooh, one of the best. One of the best.
Nice.
Yes, so that's going to be fun, and I love me some Vincent Price, and this is Vincent Price probably at his best.
Yeah.
Right?
And Roger Corman probably at his best.
I
too.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he took these the Edgar Allan Poe films very seriously, didn't he?
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, he could hack it out with the best of them and you get Teenage Caveman, but when he was looking at, this is the one they're going to remember me for, you get something like this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What the heck was that?
I heard that.
It was a motorcycle or something.
All right.
We're going to have to talk to Doc about his new soundboard.
I know. I'm gonna
It's
have to
having
do
a
that
lot
next
of fun.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the day I say something funny and nobody laughs and he hits crickets. I'm just waiting. I just know.
Whatever. All right. Well, that's it for tonight. Chad, Bill.
Bushy
Daphne.
McButtonton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bushy McButton. Thank you for joining me. This was a lot of fun. So
It
much
was.
fun.
Yeah.
Always is.
Yeah.
Let's say good night.
Night,
night.
everybody.
Good night.
Gruesome Magazine.